and normally it's Sarah and Sarah, but as you can see, the other Sarah, Sarah Uno or Sarah Dos, depending on which way you want to look at us, one or two. She was unable to make it today, but she'll be back next week. So you get me by myself until my voice runs out or we run out of events. Probably my voice will run out first. But I did want to let you know we'll be talking about January 20th through the 26th. And I cannot believe that it is the end of January 2023. It's absolutely phenomenal to think that 2022 went by that quickly, and we are already a 12th of the way through 2023. So blink and you'll miss it. So let's all slow down and see if we can catch it. The last week and a half, 2 weeks has been pretty crazy up here with all the storm fronts actually rolling through our area. We're in a little bit of a reprieve, and that's what I wanted to mention first is the Sacramento Weather Service. They are, let's see if I can find what our forecast is. Actually, if we go to the Office of Emergency Services for Calaveras County, they have an Emergency Operations Current Events tab. And for January 20th through 26th, it looks like precipitation will be below normal. So we will be quite happy about that. And as usual, when we talk to you about events and that type of thing, whether actually any time of year, because sometimes in the summertime it gets actually too hot to go out, make sure you check with event planners before you go to an event to make sure it's still going on. But it looks like we're in the clear for a little while. Now there's a lot of people, especially in the Western County, counties, I should say, that are still dealing with the aftermath of these particular storms. And those people, if you are one of those people or know of a person or a friend who may need help because of damages from the storms, you may be able to qualify for damages. And all you have to do is go to the Calaveras County website, oes.calaverasgov.us, and go to the Emergency Operations Current Events, which is what I just mentioned, and they have a list of press releases that you can actually go into, and they have links, web links in those press releases where you can find out whether you may qualify for damages or what you can do to prepare for maybe other storms coming through, or you can get sandbags. You can go to angelscamp.gov as well, and you can just hop over to Calaveras OES from their page as well. So there's a lot of resources for you if you need help. The sandbag locations actually are still in effect, and there's a limit of 10 sandbags per resident, and you're told to remember to bring your own shovel, because you probably will be filling your own sandbags. Some of them have pre-filled sandbags, but they are all over the county, up at the Arnold Maintenance Yard, in Glencoe Maintenance Yard, the Calaveras Consolidated Fire Station, and that's in Jenny Lind. At that particular location, pre-filled sandbags may be available. And then there's the Jenny Lind Yard, and that's on Milton Road. San Andreas Yard, and when I say yard, these are, I think, Calaveras County yards. McCollum Hill Fire Protection District, Mountain Ranch Community Center parking. Sorry, I'm running through. There's a lot of these, and like I said, you can go to the OES website to find out more. And then at the Murphy's Fire Station, there's a sandbag location, and at the Vista del Lago cul-de-sac near Valley Springs, if you can get through, because that particular road, the cul-de-sac seems fine, but the road actually flooded quite extensively. And then at Mangili, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, road, that cul-de-sac at the Power Up Fitness Gym down there in the Valley Springs area, Copperopolis Fire Department, West Point Volunteer Fire Department, and then in Angels Camp, behind the police department and next to the cemetery, there's the little area where all of the government offices are now. You can get sandbags at that location as well. So I would encourage you, if you want to know any information about the storms, storm damage, the repercussions of the storms, there is a community information line in Calaveras, and that number is 209-754-2855. Or for any additional resources, you can call 211, which is actually a national number. So you can actually call that as well. So I wanted to let you guys know all that glut of information right up front, because there are a lot of resources for us as a community to help actually deal with the aftermath of these storms. So now, on to the actual events. Like I said, for January 20th through 26th, there's actually not a lot going on this weekend, so I may end up ending before my voice goes out. Let's see. So first of all, the biggest event actually going on in our area this weekend is on January 21st, and it is the CAMs. It's actually called the CAMs. It used to be known as the Cammies, and this is the annual Calaveras Arts and Music Awards ceremony, and this is brought to you by Creative Copperopolis. This event takes place down in Copperopolis. It is, like I said, on Saturday, January 21st. And the event starts at 7 o'clock. It is at the Old Armory, which is a really cool historic building down there in Copperopolis. And this particular event, it recognizes all of our local artists, whether they're musicians, media personalities, media members, just artists. So they actually award 49 recognition awards, which is very, very cool. So if you would like to go, they are still selling tickets. Let me see if I can find a price. I don't think there's a price on here, but you can go to, let me see if, you can actually contact Richard at varrasso.com, which is VARRASSO.com, if you want more information about that particular event. And this is just a really cool event to go to. And as you well know, there are so many amazing artists and musicians and media people in our community. We have just a plethora of people. So this event seeks to honor those people. And then over in Amador County, on January 21st from 7 to 9, Tom Rigney and Flambeau. They are actually they're electric fiddle people. So they are actually going to be at Main Street, Sutter Creek. And Tom Rigney and Flambeau, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but bear with me, specializes in Cajun two-steps and blues. So that should be a really interesting concert. And if you've ever been to Louisiana or New Orleans, it should take you right back there. So over in Tuolumne County, they are actually, through January 20th through 29th, they're doing what's called Restaurant Week. And if you've noticed, if you watch some of the local affiliate news programs, they're actually doing Restaurant Week in Sacramento as well. So this particular event is actually a celebration of local food, local cuisine, chefs, wine, beer, cider makers, all of which we have in Tuolumne, Calaveras, and Amador, but this is just particularly for Tuolumne this year. Maybe next year Calaveras and Amador get in on it. I don't know. But you can find out more by going to their website, which I'm going to hop over there right now. And it's like throughout It is actually throughout Tuolumne County. So what you can do is you can go to Tuolumne County Restaurant Week on Facebook, which I'm hopping over there right now. And they have delicious looking photographs. And you can actually participate in this event, week-long event, by hashtagging DINETC, Dine, Tuolumne County, on Instagram. So then you can share your foodie photos with other foodie people photos, and all of our local restaurants get a little shout out. So that is a really fun event. Tuolumne County does this with a beer map, I believe, in the summertime too. So we'll talk about that when that event gets a little closer. And then let's see what else we have going on. So that's the one. Okay, so Snowshoe with the Ranger is going to be going on in Pinecrest. And that is meeting January 21st at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Crabtree Winter Trailhead in Pinecrest. And it's just outside of the Dodge Ridge ski area. So you'll be able to learn about natural history and cultural history of the area while you're snowshoeing through the trail. And if you've never done snowshoeing before in our area, it's really fascinating what lives underneath the snow. I know that sounds a little weird, but there's a lot of critters that actually thrive in the snow. And you learn all about it with these types of ranger lectures, ranger walks that are provided by the Forest Service. So you can go on up there at the Crabtree Winter Trailhead on January 21st from 10 to 12. And while I am mentioning it, the ski resorts are all open. I'm sure most of you have heard that they have had immense amounts of snowfall. I mean, obviously, if we get rain, we get snowfall. So there are a lot of skiers and snowboarders and snowshoe people who love the snow, and nothing stops them from coming up into our ski resorts. So remember, the ski resorts are still open, and I'm going to tell you about a international event that's going to be coming up in Bear Valley pretty soon. So let me go back to my list. So like I said, it's there's not a huge amount going on. There's a lot going on the 21st. There is a STEM event going on at the Sonora Library, and that actually happens the third Saturday of each month at 2 p.m. So if you have any kids who are interested in science, technology, and math, you can go on over to the Sonora Community Library on the 21st. And then also, you can see me just bouncing around here, the Calaveras County Library has an event coming up as well. I just need to get to the correct page. So I have a lot of pages open for you guys because there are a lot of things going on. Let me just look them up really quickly because I think that's a little bit too far down on my feed to find it quickly. So Calaveras County Library. And remember, just check the social media pages of the libraries, Sonora, Tuolumne, Calaveras County, and Amador County, because they have a lot of really cool programs for adults and kids. So this particular event is actually going to be at the Calaveras County Library. It's on January 23rd at 10 o'clock at Angels Camp. There's actually 3 different events they're putting on. And this is actually crafts for adults, so it's not necessarily for kids. but it's for adults. So you can go on out there and in Angels Camp, in the Angels Camp Library, which is right near Middleton's out there on Highway 49, and you can learn, you can get together with other people, enjoy your time, have and make some crafts. And then they have the same program on January 24th, and that's at 3 p.m. at the West Point Library, and then January 25th at 10 p.m. at the Murphy's Library. And they say here that they will be making 3D paper trees, and actually they look like those foldy trees, so they're really, really cool, and snowmen. So it should be actually really fun. So if I wasn't working, I would probably go. But just remember, there are a lot of events at our local libraries, and they have an amazing amount of online resources as well. You can do employment training, you can see free movies. All you have to do is get a library card and log into their websites, and you will be astounded at what the libraries have to offer in our community. So let me go on back. So let's see what we have in Tuolumne. There were a couple of other things in Tuolumne. That was it. So there is a Kicking Up Boots for Canines event, and that's on January 21st. And that is actually at the Mother Lode Fairgrounds in the Manzanita building from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And this is a fundraiser from the Friends of Sonora Police Department that will actually benefit their canine department. So in case you didn't know, each of our local law enforcement departments actually do have canine units. So this actually benefits this particular canine unit in Sonora. Actually, law enforcement too. If you don't need to pay attention to them, it's probably a good thing. But they have such amazing programs, and they serve the community with those programs, like on our lakes, up in our snow, on their bicycles, horses. I mean, in a rural community, horses. So they actually provide huge amounts of protection and services that we, as the community kind of don't see, and the canine units are part of that. And then let's see what else we have. There is, I'm trying not to inundate you either. And there are a few things coming up. So we talked about the Stanislaus National Forest Family Winter Programs in the Pinecrest area, which was that hike right up near the Dodge Ridge parking lot. And then I wanted to let you know about a blood drive that's actually coming up on Tuesday, January 24th. This is actually put on by the Calaveras Community Foundation. And they put this on, I think it's every 8 weeks. It may be every 4 weeks, but I think it's every 8 weeks. I need my pal to keep me straight. So this particular blood drive, like I said, sponsored, put on by the Calaveras Community Foundation, Tuesday, January 24th from 1:30 to 5:30. This is actually at the San Andreas Town Hall at 24 Church Road in San Andreas, obviously. And you can schedule an appointment at donors.vitalant, which is VITALANT.org. And you can use the blood drive code, SMFM399. You can also go to the Calaveras Community Foundation Facebook page, where they have created an event for this particular blood drive. So you can check that out as well. And I'm looking, and I told you at the beginning of the show, there's not a lot going on this week. There is one more event that I wanted to talk to you about, and this is actually the monthly paint parties at Indigene in Sonora. They actually make cider, and they have heirloom Old Grove apple groves, actually, and that's what they make their cider from. And it's just a beautiful place to go. It's a beautiful place to visit. But they have paint parties out there once a month. So their next one is actually this month, apparently. Oh, once a month, sorry. So this one is actually on January 22nd, and you'll be painting feathers. So if you go on Sunday, it's from 1 to 3. It is $40 a ticket. It is for all ages. So you can actually find them at, I believe it's indigene.com. Let me just go over there just to make sure that you know. It's actually taken me not to Indigene, but you can contact Kim Kasner if you want more information about this particular event on the 22nd. The number is 209-984-6077. And there's a lot of these types of painting party events that do happen all over our communities that are just a lot of fun to go to. And they're all slightly different. So if you go to one, that doesn't mean you don't, you don't really want to go to the others, because like I said, they're all slightly different. You're painting different subjects. Sometimes you're painting on wood, sometimes you're painting on canvas. But they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to go out and go out with friends and actually do that. So I'm going to just point out a few upcoming events. If I can get to February, because I cannot even believe we're talking about February. And so one of the events that's going on, there's a lot of crab feeds coming up in the next few weeks, and there is the Lake Tulloch Lions Club is having their crab feed on Saturday, February 4th. And that will be at the Black Creek Hall in Copperopolis. Doors will open at 5 p.m. Dinner will be from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. That is $65 a person. You must purchase your tickets in advance for this particular crab feed, because they need to know how much crab and other food to order, because they're having pasta, salads, bread, and dessert. And new this year, you can actually do sit-down dining, or you can do a to-go dinner. So that is very, very cool. If you want to purchase tickets for that, go to www.copperopolislions.org. So that is actually coming up. And then on, let's see what's going on the 5th in Calaveras. Calaveras Wedding Fair. This is a pretty big event that happens every year. This is actually at Ironstone Vineyards. So if you're planning a wedding, either this year, you better get going, or, in the future, in a couple years, this is a great place to find vendors, find people who will officiate your wedding, where you can get wedding dresses, where you can get DJs, music, food, all sorts of things. This is from 12 to 3, February 5th at Ironstone Vineyards. It is free, but you really should register for those free tickets, so you'll be able to get in, and you can go to motherlodecelebrations.com to register for those tickets. Also on that same day is the Angels Camp Museum Foundation Lecture Series. Now, we also, here at the studio, one of our amazing volunteers, Susan Tomasic, a videographer, goes out and she films the Angels Camp Museum Lecture Series and also the Calaveras County Historical Society Lecture Series. Those are all can be found on our YouTube channel. So if you missed ones before, you can go view them there. But this is actually a really, well, they're all really cool. As if you watched our show a fair amount, you know that I'm like, wow, every history lecture is cool. And this one is actually on February 5th. This is at the Carriage House at the Angels Camp Museum from 2 to 3. And it will be Lynn Downey, who is actually an acclaimed author and writer of history, history events, history themes, for lack of a better word. It is $10 per person. to attend the lecture. And this particular lecture, I cannot pronounce this first word. It's Arequipa and Area Sanatorium. And many of you in the area, you may remember that Murphy's used to have a TB sanatorium where years and years ago, obviously it's not there any longer, but years and years ago, people would come up to help their lungs breathe the fresh air when they had TB. So I imagine she will talk about that particular sanatorium. There were others in the area as well. So this should be a super, super interesting lecture. Also, if you have not actually gone to the Calaveras County Historical Society Museum in San Andreas, their main museum is actually on Main Street in San Andreas, and then they have the Red Barn Annex, which is over near the Government Center on Mountain Ranch Road. If you've never been to that museum, I would highly suggest you going to that museum as well. Another local videographer who has a really great program called California Outdoor Adventures, his name is Kevin Stray. He did a great program about the Calaveras County Historical Society Museum, where you actually tour the museum, and he had some really interesting facts in that particular video about local figures in history that you may not know. So you can actually find his videos on Facebook, and we also do show them on Channel 7, so check our schedule. Or you can watch the program and go on over to the museum as well. Now on, let's see, on the 11th, there are a few things going on. The first of which I want to talk to you about, which is an event from the Valley Springs, put on by the Valley Springs Optimist Club. It is their annual fundraiser called the Sweetheart Supper. This is actually Saturday, February 11th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Veterans Hall in San Andreas. Now that is really near Valley Springs Elementary. If you go to the four-way, you can turn at the, or you can go on the four-way, you can go down at the next road. Most roads are going to lead you to the elementary school, or you can look at Google or ask somebody. And they will direct you to this particular location, which is Daphne Street. So that was a long way for me to get to Daphne Street. But this is actually a really good event. Tickets are $25 per person, $40 a couple. And there's live music and raffles and all sorts of fun stuff at that particular event. And like I said, this is their major fundraiser for the year, so you might want to get on out there and go to this. They're going to have baked chicken, baked potato bar, vegetables, salad, and rolls. Just a really nice, really good meal. Also on that particular day, we here at the studio, or CCTV I should say, we are having the screening of our first ever Love Your Pet video contest submissions. So that will be from 4 to 6. 4 to 6, yes. I have to think about the flyer. And you can turn in your pet videos. You have to be an Amador or Calaveras County residents. And you can, it's from the 25th to February 1st, you can turn in your pet videos to be part of the contest, and then come on February 11th to the awards ceremony and the screening. You can go to our Facebook page to find out more, and this is a joint fundraiser for Friends of Calaveras Animal Services, who you've heard Sarah and I talk about quite a bit, and CCTV. So, get your videos ready and turn them in, and you can come to our event, and then you can go to the Sweetheart Supper afterwards. Now, this event I'm going to talk to you about right now is it's really, really big. Like I said, it is international. So it's actually the World Pro Ski Tour, which will be at the Bear Valley Resort, ski resort, on the weekend of the 11th and 12th. So, this is their only California tour stop, and there will actually be 4 races, 2 men's and 2 women's, which will be held on February 11th and 12th. And skiers from 15 countries, including former and current NCAA World Cup and Olympic athletes, actually compete in this event. They'll be doing dual slaloms and dual giant slalom races for both men and women, and the award money is actually $500,000 through the course of the season. So this is like a super, super exciting event for them to choose our area to come to. And so if you see a slew of media descending on our little county, Calaveras, you will know why, because the World Pro Ski Tour is actually broadcast on CBS Sports, Flow Live TV, Facebook Live, and it's also syndicated a docuseries called Life in Between the Gates that airs on NBC Sports, Amazon Prime, Outside TV, AT&T Sports, and more. So this is a really big deal. So if you want to go and see what's happening up there, you can go up to, I believe you can go to bearvalley.com, which is the ski resort, obviously, to find out more. And it looks like the resort will still be open for skiing that day too. So you can ski, you can check the tour out. And this is actually super interesting because Bear Valley, it says, has not hosted a professional ski race in decades, since the late 1960s and 70s. And as some of you know, there were quite a few celebrities who have made their homes up there and who used to come up for a very quiet, private place to ski. So Bear Valley is actually quite well known for that. So this will be very, very exciting. And so check that out if you want to. And that will be, like I said, February 11th and 12th. And probably Sarah and I will talk about that again next time. And I think actually that is all I have for you this week. So make sure you stay warm, make sure you stay dry. Like I said, precipitation, not huge. I mean, like I said, there may be precipitation this weekend, depending on which. I'm going to look on another website just to see, just because we're here, and I want to do that. So, of course, I probably picked the very, very slowest website I could do. So let's just do this one. There we go. Because I think there is another storm front. It's just not going to be very, very, yeah, let's see. Of course, I did pick the slowest website. Sorry, guys. With the most pop-ups. And let me see the 10-day forecast. But it won't be as bad as what we've gone through in the last couple of weeks. There we go. Yeah, so very, very minimal percentage of even possibility of precipitation until the end of January. So we are looking at sunny days, cold days, but sunny days. So you have a chance to recoup. We all have a chance to recoup. And like I said, go to OES calaveras.gov if you need any help with your storm damage. And other than that, I hope that you're safe and you stay warm and you enjoy your time in wintry Calaveras, Amador, and Tuolumne County. And hopefully next week, I'm almost 100% sure that Sarah will be back next week. So we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.